the formal reading of the indictment and the motions in each case.
Oh, yeah.
Ms. Alt, in cause number 26 DCCR 0361. Oh, hold on. Wrong number. Let me get 26 DCCR 0319. Getting there. You're charged with the second-degree felony offense of robbery from January 13th of 2026. And how do you plead to that charge? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you actually did what they've charged you with? I have here on the tablet in that case some documents that have your signature on them, but the state's marked as exhibit number 1. Before you sign these, did you go over them with Mr. Parker? Do you fully understand them? And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you've made with the district attorney, that you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal?
Your Honor, just for the record, just so for the court's information, this offer in this case reflects the fact that the robbery, as it's charged, involved an assault of a loss prevention officer at HEB on the way out of the store. Just wanted the court to know. I mean, the offense robbery, implies
correct
a certain thing in one's mind. Just wanted to let you know kind of the underlying nature of the offense.
Got it. Do you also understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law? State tenders number 1.
No objection.
It's admitted. Is there any evidence that Ms. Alts is not competent?
No, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find that you're mentally competent and understand the nature and the consequences of your plea. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of the second-degree felony offense of robbery. Sentence you in accordance with your agreement to a term of 4 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. And then in cause number 20-35024, I have a motion to revoke your community supervision. Shows that you were placed on probation January 11th of 2021 for the offense of theft of property, a state jail felony. And that was a 2-year term that was probated for 5 years. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then in cause number 20-35025, I also have a motion to revoke your community supervision. This shows you were placed on probation the same date, January 11th of 2021, for theft of property with previous convictions. And that was also a 2-year term in the state jail prison that was probated for 5 years. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Each of these cases allege that you violated your probation. And in count 1, in each case, it alleges that you failed to report as directed to the probation department since March of 2021. Is that correct?
January. When she next sheet on probation.
Let me look at this. I'm just trying to go back and look at the PSI real quick from the original case, if it's in here. I don't know if it's gonna be. Mm-hmm.
It might be one if it's a state jail.
Well, if it was a straight back then, I'm assuming that's because there was some criminal history. And I'm wanting to know what that criminal history is before I go along with the 21 months. Because if she went to probation for 2 months and we haven't seen her since, and she committed another offense that ended up being a robbery, then I think that 2-year sentence that she agreed to back then is probably what needs to happen on these two cases. I've already gone along with the other one, but I think, if either of you have that information.
I don't.
her
As far as her
criminal
criminal history, I do,
Uh-huh.
Judge. I've got some around here. I'm happy to share it with you and, Mr. Parker.
Theft in 2013, theft in 2015, theft in 2016, another theft in 2016, theft in 2017, criminal trespass in 2017, a theft in 2018, a theft in 2019, a theft in 2021, the 2 thefts from 2021. And now we have the robbery. You guys,
If I can just say this, Judge, I mean, like the robbery, it's been, I don't know about all the thefts, but the theft, like the robbery, she took $18 for this stuff. It was feminine products and
at some time she's got to
I
stop.
understand about.
And if someone's trying to stop you, you don't do what you did to that person by pushing them and physically assaulting them in other ways. So, I just feel like we're rewarding continued bad behavior on these motions. And so, really, if she wants to withdraw her pleas of true, we can have a hearing. Otherwise, punishment's up to me.
She'll agree to the 24 months, Judge. That was the original plea.
Okay.
And-
Yeah, I mean, she
never-
agreed to it already back in 2021 and then
Right.
ignored us for the last 5 years and committed a new offense.
Yeah.
So with everyone's permission, then, if it's agreed, I'm going to make that change on the agreed punishment recommendation sheet on each of these cases.
Objection, Judge.
No objection.
Okay, so let's go back then. Count 1, Ms. Alt, in each of these cases alleges that you failed to report as directed since March of 2021 in each of the cases. Is that true or not true? True.
True.
Count 2 in each case alleges that you provided a urine sample January 27th of 21 that tested positive for methadone, which you had a prescription, and opiates. Is that true or not true? Count 3 in each case alleges that you failed to perform the community service hours as required. Is that true or not true? Count 4 in each case alleges that you failed to provide verification of completing the theft prevention class. Is that true or not true?
True.
And then count 5 in each case alleges obviously that you are behind in your court assessed fees. Is that true or not true? Do you enter your pleas of true to counts 1 through 5 in each case freely and voluntarily? And because you actually, those violations are true. In each of those cases, I have here on the tablet documents that have your signature on them that the state's marked as exhibit number 1. Did you also go over these with Mr. Parker?
Yes,
And do you fully understand them as well?
yes,
And you understand if I follow these agreements, which it's my understanding now that you have agreed to that original sentence of 24 months, is that correct?
yes,
That you'll be waiving any right to appeal.
yes,
State tenders number 1 in each of those cases.
No objection.
It's admitted in each case. Is there any, no evidence, of course, that she's, not competent?
No, you're-
Right, ma'am, in each of these cases, I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1 through 5 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. In cause number 20-35024, find sufficient evidence to revoke your probation, and at this time, revoke your probation and sentence you to a term of 2 years in the state jail prison. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. And then in cause number 20-35025, also find sufficient evidence to revoke your probation, and at this time, revoke your probation, sentence you in accordance with your agreement to a term of 2 years in the state jail prison. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. These 3 cases will run concurrently, which means together at the same time. And I'm going to hand you in all 3 cases the trial court certifications that shows that these were agreements that I followed, and so you've waived your right to appeal. I'm also going to hand you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgments entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term, and you should read the written admonishment I provide you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk with Mr. Parker. Obviously, Ms. Alt, you've got a lot going on. It sounds like there's probably drug issues. I don't know exactly what's causing all this, but you're going to have an opportunity while you're in prison to get help. They're not going to make you do it, but if you choose to do it, you can get out and you can learn how to quit stealing and quit doing what you're doing so that you can live out like the rest of us. All right? Good luck to you.
What started as a robbery case over just $18 worth of stolen items quickly turned into something far bigger once the defendant's criminal history was read aloud in court. Judge Raquel West listened as prosecutors detailed more than a decade of repeated theft charges, probation violations, trespassing offenses, and ignored opportunities to change. The courtroom atmosphere shifted immediately when it became clear that this was not an isolated mistake, but part of a long cycle of repeat behavior that had continued year after year. Even after previously receiving probation and multiple second chances, the defendant admitted to failing to report, failing drug tests, skipping required classes, and continuing to commit new crimes while still under court supervision. Judge West made it clear that the court could no longer justify rewarding repeated violations, while the pattern only kept getting worse. By the end of the hearing, probation was officially revoked and prison sentences were handed down, but the judge's final message carried the strongest impact of all. Prison could either become the place where this cycle finally ends, or where another lost opportunity begins.